Alright, we got a 4v4 matchup here on Rapido River Crossing, the brand new map. And I'm not going to lie, I love this map. So far, it's become one of my favorite maps really quickly. I have no idea what is the team setup. Let's say we got two American teammates, me as a British, and my opponent, or my teammate next to me as a British as well. We loaded in this map in like 0.2 seconds. Usually I like to start the recording like right before the match starts, so I can at least be like, hey, we got, this many British, this many Germans, African core, but I did say that we are the brand new map, Rapido River Crossing, and as I was saying, this is one of my favorite maps. It's brand new, and look how small the map is. It's very small, which creates two things. One, it creates very little outmaneuvering and outflanking, and then because of that, instead of it having a lot of outmaneuvering, and that's how you beat your opponent, you have a lot of how can you outmanage with your troops. That's the strategy for this map. Instead of outmaneuvering, it quickly becomes how can you outmanage, which creates a lot of fun situations, a lot of fun scenarios, and that's why we went with the Australian Defense Battle Group, because you've got obviously your Australians, which are solid for like long range, good high quality infantry, but later on when we get Matildas and then when we get the archers on this map, because there's such little flanking, you can kind of set them up, and then you've got their long range, high powered damage dealing weapons going up against, enemy tanks that don't have as much range, don't have as much damage, and you don't have to worry about the archers being flanked because there's such a small map and you can kind of see where the enemy is coming. So it's a really fun strategy. I highly recommend you check out using Australians if you're going to be going as the British. It's definitely a lot of fun, like I said. We're going to try and get some early barbed wire here. It might cost me these engineers, but it's really not that big of an issue. I might actually retreat them back, see if we can help out constructing this. I really don't need these engineers right now. So we're going to make sure they don't die, obviously, but then we do not worry too much about having them here. Get our third and final Australian group in here. Got to be careful early on in these matches. As you know, when you're playing as the Australians, the one issue that they have is it takes them forever to get up to the front lines. So you got to be very careful about that. So he's got two guys going up against my one team. Even though we're in a really good and well set up position here, I still don't think it's going to matter. We're going to retreat them out immediately. Let's get these guys into a little bit of a better cover situation here. But unfortunately, even though we, as quickly as we could, got our teams up here, it still doesn't manage to matter. I'm going to cancel this and put it in between our points. And then hopefully we can get our other team up here. I don't know where they're at. Oh, I think I never had them moving. That's definitely a pretty big mistake right there, but that's okay. We'll go ahead and retreat them out. We don't need them. And then our other guys should be able to win that battle. Let my teammate know I built the med base, so hopefully he doesn't build his own. Oh, we actually almost lost that team. Holy cow. Not too worried about this team. Should be able to take them out pretty easily. I'd like to get my guys into cover. Crap, he's got more units coming in. Alright, we're going to retreat them out. I'm going to kind of let my Australians group up for a little bit. There's no reason to kind of keep them pushing in. What I am going to do is send my engineers over here and cache this point. This point is really important to cache early. You want to cache this point as early as you can. Because if you look, there's no other fuel points that are safe. This is the next safest fuel point. Hopefully your teammate is able to grab that and hold it for the majority of the game. But this is by far the safest, and you want to cache this as early as possible. This is the most important point in the entire game because it's a 10 fuel, and of course it's also on the battle line, just like these other two fuels, making it 3 total fuels on the battle line. But by far, this is the most important point, but I also highly recommend you cache this point as early as you can. There's going to be a lot of yapping in this episode. I'm going to be kind of explaining what I do while we do it, so hopefully you can learn something. Is that friendly artillery? What in the world? I have no idea what's going on right there. This guy's set up pretty well. He's got a lot of infantry. He's also got a fighting position set up here. I wonder if he's going to build... I would assume he's going for a mortar setup right there. And then we can get our section command post going up. And then now we have our infantry grouped up. You don't want to necessarily blob your infantry. Obviously, that's a very big no-no in this game. but when you're running the Australians, you do want them to be grouped up. So I'm going to kind of split them up. I'll have 2 of my guys go here, then I'll have this guy kind of, they're a little bit farther behind, so they'll have to get here when they do. But when they're grouped up like this, they're a lot more capable of taking out more units. So don't blob. You don't want to do that. But you do need to be ready and aware. Alright, we gotta get these other teams up here. I'm getting double teamed pretty significantly here. Gotta get them retreated out. Don't want to retreat your units too late. Obviously, that'll get them killed. You just gotta be very, very aware when you're getting double teamed like this. I'm gonna retreat them already out as well. We'll get these guys kind of back here. And let's see, where do I want to build this? Probably right here. Hopefully that'll allow me to build the other one right here as well. Looks like, oh, that's why Green's just not having anybody contest him. That's not even a bad thing. Hear me out. We have this point cash. We're about to cash this, or cap this one. Not cash it, but cap it. And then we hold this one, which is by far the most important one. Yes, we're losing right here, but we hold the fuel monopoly. They do hold this one, which isn't ideal. Hopefully he gets these scouts to kind of go over there and capture them. Especially since he's not going to break through this machine gun team right here. But overall, we're looking pretty good. We now have our platoon command post, which allows us to get the scoped Liang fuel upgrade, which we will do on these 2 real quick. And then, of course, we'll get them on the 3rd one as well. So I'm going to briefly talk about munitions when it comes to the Australian battle group. Munitions is something you do not need to spare. Use your munitions as much as possible. Early, you want obviously your Lee Enfield rifles. That's the first thing you want to get. But once you get the Lee Enfield rifles, because you're going archers 99% of the time with this strategy, the only other way you can use munitions is mines and then this sharpshooter upgrade. Of course, you also have this as well as the only other way, but like I said, that's it. So use the sharpshooter ability as much as possible. You're pretty much want to be spamming that sharpshooter ability. It's really, really effective, and it's something you're going to want to use your munitions on. Other than that, you really don't use your munitions with this strategy. So like I said, sharpshoot as much as possible. You're also going to see me do something interesting here too. On this map, I use the CMP supply runs because instead of going for 6-pounders, or occasionally we'll go defensive tactics because it's a solid ability as well, but we are choosing not to go for the defensive tactics right now. We're going to rush Matildas. That is our strategy. We're going to try and get Matildas as early as we can. And in order to do that quicker, we're going to build the CMP trucks. Because we also have a ton of manpower. We're not getting 6-pounders. We're not doing anything like that. We are going straight to, oh, that machine gun's going to scoop everything up. I'm going to have to retreat. Dang it, that actually sucks a lot. That Matilda really, or that machine gun. He didn't have a machine gun the entire match, so I didn't expect him to just build one randomly like that. Definitely not ideal right there. We should be fine. We should be able to just kind of push my units to here. One thing you can do is you could obviously build a retreat point right here. If you choose to do that, that's one option. Just kind of briefly going over your options. We have a ton of munitions, so I'm going to get our hazard removal package, which is the one other upgrade you're going to want. And then pretty soon here, we will hopefully be building our first Matilda. That's definitely our next plan. Let's get these guys back up to the fight. We're going to get our next engineer team. Is one other upgrade that we're going to get. Usually I go for infantry training, but because we are legitimately trying to rush, like full on legitimately rush our Matildas in this match, I'm not going to bother with that. But it definitely might be something that we get later down the line. Our teammates are doing really, really well, so I'm not too worried about trying to push the point necessarily to be too aggressive. Let's get our command post, and then pretty soon here we'll have our first Matilda. We need to capture this. We need the fuel, But they're kind of struggling over there because he's helping me out a lot over here. But I'll be able to take back over and kind of do my job, if you will. Because I have not done a whole lot of anything so far in this match. Yikes. People are so mad in these matches. Holy cow. I'm going to try and just take these guys out from range. We obviously have superior range in these matches with our Australians, so I'm not going to worry too much about that. I might have my sappers come over here and help out then, especially since I'm not really using my sappers right now. We might actually have to commit to defensive upgrades, or defensive tactics kind of early. It's not a bad thing that we're committing to it, it's just the fact that it's going to slow me down from getting Matildas, which isn't the end of the world. We're going to build some defensive emplacements right there. It'll be able to cover a lot of this area, and because my Australians are right here right now, we should be able to defend it pretty easily. As long as we can make it, you know, get it built completely. With that being said, because we slowed down on our Matildas, I might actually go ahead and get the infantry training upgrade here. I do kind of feel like that might be beneficial. It'll help us defend this. He's going to build some fighting positions to help defend it as well. I'm not a huge fan of fighting positions. Very rarely does it work as effectively as you would hope it would. Just like that, the 17-pounder nails that thing really hard. Pause. We just gotta get to that MG. God, she's got another one. We should... No, we're out of range. Oh, it's those guys that are out of range. Yeah, hit this with your sniper. You guys get back in cover. Sniper does manage to kill them off. He's got grenades. Those grenades are the most overpowered thing in the entire game. And I mean that with my whole entire soul. Those guys gotta get out. They managed to get out. They just have so many MGs built. I'm gonna get my group 4 over here because group 4 is gonna manage to do something really important. Let's try and get some snipes off over here. Doesn't look like it's gonna happen. I'm gonna retreat this first unit down. Looks like that fighting position's got a mortar set up somewhere, which is really helping us out. Nice grenade. I might actually try and... No, that's not going to happen. I'm going to retreat them out. Group 4, what are we doing? Oh, jeez. Alright, Group 4 will easily eliminate these guys. Not worried about that. Yeah, he had to retreat them. Let's see if we can maybe push this point. He's got this guy vulnerable here. We'll get our next CMP run going because we've got a ton of manpower. Don't need that. Yeah, he's going to try and retreat them out. He's got his troops coming over here, which is going to make it hard. But I might be able to get away with this. Watch this. I'm going to see how... Oh, he's got this stupid machine gun still there. Alright, that's fine. We committed his infantry, which kind of helped out over here. So we're actually okay with that. I'm not going to worry about getting the infantry upgrade right now because we're so close to getting this first Matilda. Nice, dude. That machine gun's doing the Lord's work right now. He needs to kind of push the point. Does he have anything else? Yeah, he's slowly getting some more troops up. Yeah, he's got to get these guys maybe. Alright, that's fine. That's fine. Got some more. Oh, that's what it is. Commandos. Okay. Alright, roger that. Let's get our infantry moving forward. We've got our first Matilda being built. So we'll go ahead and kind of send it up here more. And then with this 17-pounder, notice where I built the 17-pounder. I built it pretty far back. I didn't choose to build it up here in a more aggressive position, just simply because we didn't necessarily need it to. If we built it in this aggressive position kind of up here, they could have 6-pounders or, like, you know, whatever the AT guns are for the other factions, which would have made it pretty vulnerable to that, and I didn't want to do that. I'm going to kind of keep this in a defensive position, especially early on here. I think that was the right maneuver. They've obviously got a lot of artillery going to be coming in to try and counter these positions, but hopefully by then we've committed over to archers, and so have my teammates also committed over to tanks. Alright, we know they have the machine gun right here. That's fine. I'm not worried about that machine gun. The machine gun should get countered pretty easily, pretty significantly by the Matilda. And then we're also going to get our infantry upgrade up here. Crap. Okay, that is one thing that we are going to have to deal with. Let's get some cover here. Let's not have them kind of standing around doing nothing. Especially since we know that they have this, whatever this is. The intel disruption stuff. So we know he has one anti-tank gun. We're not too concerned about it, really. That is something that we are concerned about. I want to find... There it is right there. Knock that out. Group 2, you do that. Group 4, you go over here to repair. That's not good. Let's get some minesweepers out here to make sure that we don't see any more mines. Group 2 is going to be really close to killing now. I'm going to send Group 2 up here, actually. You're good. You can stop moving. I need you to repair. We're actually doing really good on manpower and fuel, but you can see what I mean by you have an infinite amount of munitions on this map. Or as this strategy. So, like I said, snipe away. Do as much sniping as you can. Just like that, the machine gun's going to get knocked out. Perfect. Love it. Right, guys? Right, guys? Group 1, get back up here. Let's actually push these guys forward a little bit. Somebody still has no sniper. Just retreat. That's fine. Those grenades did a little bit more than I thought they would. I panicked a little bit right there. That's fine. Group 4, you guys can push up here. Hopefully the Group 4 can manage to take that out. Because we didn't capture this, we're just going to eliminate it. Get this off the battlefield. Get Group 1 kind of pushing back up here. We're going to keep our minesweepers out just because we know that they have them. Yeah, he's in full retreat with that thing already. Just like that. Love it, love it, love it. Crap, he's got him going. Alright, pop the smoke. Let's get these guys into more combat geared. And just like that, look at the Royal Engineers. Royal Engineers are so underrated in their combat abilities. So underrated. We're actually going to retreat them a little bit farther back. Dang, those guys are so close to dying too. He's going to go a danger close artillery round, and it managed to kill both of my teams. That was a bit of a mistake on my part. Dang, man. I was trying to be aggressive there. We had an opportunity to kill 2 units right there. I did not expect that danger close to work as effectively as it did. That sucks. It does. Not the end of the world. We'll be okay. We'll be just fine. We managed to do some significant damage. I really wish my teammate kind of pushed the point, but it looks like he's getting hit by more players as well. Let's get Group 2 back up here. Green's doing really, really good. We're doing enough over here. We are losing because especially since I don't hold this point, but I feel like we're about to. We've still got our 17-pounder perfectly set up. The only mistake we've made in this match so far was losing both of those infantry teams. That's really it. That's all we've done mistake-wise in this match. But as you can see, like, he's getting his tanks rolled out here. He's still got a lot of stuff set up here. He's got upgraded BARs over here. So his infantry are very elite. One major thing, don't count out as, was we managed to destroy that machine gun, which is going to let my infantry reign a lot more freely. Of course, you could always build another one, but I'm not too worried about that necessarily. He's got Grants already on the battlefield, which are probably the best tanks that he can build. Let's get our snipers out. See, that is such a stupid feature. Look at that. It didn't activate the sniper purely because we killed the guy that he was going to snipe. I don't know if that made any sense, but like when you activate the snipe ability, it targets a unit, and if that unit dies, it doesn't snipe. But like, not always am I trying to kill somebody with the sniper, because remember, the sniper ability makes things easier to hit, makes them more vulnerable, and it slows them down, making it really effective to killing more than just that first soldier. So you gotta be very aware when you're trying to snipe. I know you want me to... Oh, perfect. Love it, love it, love it. Nice, 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 nice. That's going to be huge. We're going to build this thing right here. This is my one ability. It's not very effective, but what it does do is it scouts when an... sorry, I got really scared that artillery was coming to hit all these guys grouped up in one spot. What this does is when an enemy approaches it, it activates basically like a mine. And we'll retreat these guys back. it sets off a flare and when artillery shell comes in. So the artillery shell is usually pretty hit or miss. Typically more miss than it is hits. But, sorry, I lost my team. I'm kind of playing a little bit distracted here. Let's get a snipe off on them. We'll actually get a couple snipes off on them. He's got his own troops just sitting there. Retreat, 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 retreat. God, they got so much artillery. Holy cow, we're lucky to not lose both of those teams. Alright, whatever. We got what we wanted. Unfortunately, we're going to kind of decommit from using infantry. They have so much artillery that it just doesn't matter. Look at this. So much artillery. I'm going to drop lots of artillery. Message. What we need to do, what we really want, is green to punch through. If green can punch through, then he can flank and knock out that artillery. They don't have a lot of stuff protecting their artillery. We just need one of us across the board, whoever it is, to punch through, and I feel like we can win after that. Got the Grant set up, perfect. Those commandos, they're getting 1v3'd, but they're elite enough that they can hopefully hold. I don't know where I want these guys. I don't know where they're safe at. Maybe over there. Alright, we're doing good. I love how the 17 pounder is still set up. It's going to prevent them from really pushing through. But eventually they're going to just artillery it to death. That's why I'm so surprised. I'm surprised they haven't already artilleried it to death. Nice. Get those commandos out. They're level 2 veterancy now, which is a small detail, but one that can't be overlooked. We're sitting on a ton of fuel. We're good on fuel, but we need to get our first archer on the battlefield. Right now, I care about not losing these guys. I've lost three engineer teams. And just like that. See how you got the flare up, as well as one artillery shell comes in. We'll send up our Matildas. I'm not too worried about them. They're not going to die or anything. They're fine. I might actually continue to push them up here. Be pretty aggressive with them. Alright, we'll get our first archer on the battlefield. Archer you gotta be very careful with. Low health, high damage. Blast cannon, of course. Just gotta get these guys out. He's not paying enough attention. It is. That's what happens when you spread yourself thin. You kind of lose track of certain units in certain areas. What the heck? Why are people so freaking rude? Oh, whatever. Who cares? Alright, we do need this tank upgrade. No, we already have it. Perfect. Love it. Group 2, you just go scout for me. That's what we need right now, is them to go scout. I know I'm pushing up to push through here. We need to knock out as much of that artillery as we can. Group 2, what are we looking at? Knock out this. I don't really care about their infantry. Their infantry doesn't scare me. We'll go ahead and retreat them out. Wait, you mean to kill this team? Come on. I'm going to back these guys up slowly. Or we're just going to keep them up in the fight. Eventually they'll set up those anti-tank units, but it doesn't look like they are right now. We're going to continue to be aggressive here. If we can knock out this artillery unit. Oh crap, retreat, 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 retreat. Gosh, the direct hits of those. Oh, no. Daggum, man. They got so much artillery that even with tanks it doesn't matter. Man, I almost want to commit to Grants here, or like Crusaders. At the end of the day, what matters is we're holding. Man, what do I want to do here? Yeah, they're out, man. Oh, somebody broke through. What did I tell you? Somebody broke through. Exactly what we're looking for. I'm actually ready to attack. If Green wants to push up. That's crazy. They all committed to artillery. I don't know if I've ever seen that. Just across the board, everybody's like, screw it. Green didn't work. I wonder which one their green teammate is. I want to say it's red. Especially since he's complaining so much, I want to say it's the guy closest to him. Let's get these guys up here. Alright, go forward, knock these guys out. Look at that. Don't underestimate the power of Royal Engineers. Super duper effective. Not worried about Group 1. Group 1 should be fine. Look at that, all this artillery. They got another one right here. There's artillery at the wazoo, man. Alright, we'll retreat them out. We don't need them anymore. And I have a feeling that Group 3 and Group 1 are going to eliminate everything right here. You're going to get a brief introduction of how good archers are at anti-tank combat. Even point blank like this does not matter. They have so much damage capabilities. Uh-oh. Alright. Let's go ahead and get them out. Group 2, you guys can push up. We'll retreat them back. And just like that, I feel like we've got the W. Green did really, really well. Of course, he kind of went up against like an unorthodox strategy. He didn't really have a lot of pressure on him. So we were able to hold this tin fuel. So although they had a lot of artillery, and you got people like me who lost a lot of Royal Engineers and such, it just didn't matter. It really did not matter. They were really good. So this is interesting. Let me talk about this. Artillery strategy. Did it work? Drop a comment. Let me know. Did you think that their artillery strategy worked? Here is what I'll say about their artillery strategy. This was one of the best artillery teams I've ever seen. Like, they were very, very effective. They were knocking out infantry over here. They were point blank firing it, knocking out tanks, and different things like that. They were very, very good with their artillery. But was it enough? Did it matter? I don't think it did. So you have to be very careful with the amount of artillery that you build. Use this match as an example. They did really well with their artillery, and it still didn't matter. It still wasn't enough. So you can't only build artillery. At the end of the day, definitely let me know what y'all think, whether or not they did good. But I think by far, like, you just have to be really, really careful with artillery. It's definitely one of the more fun things. Being a British player, I see all the time players spamming, and I mean spamming, bishops. Bishops, bishops, bishops. You'll see people build 2, 3, maybe even 4 bishops. And you've got people like me over here just like, please stop. Please stop. Please build something more useful. But because like there's like a placebo effect of how valuable those where the heck is Group 4 at? Oh my gosh, they're sitting back here not doing anything. I thought I told them to get up there. Apparently not. Doesn't matter, they'll surrender anytime soon here. But hey, we're talking about some interesting stuff here. But yeah, just be very careful with how much artillery you build. People find it to be such a great strategy simply because of how much damage it can do and how much damage it does do. But there's a difference between dealing damage and having an impact on the battle. You can deal a lot of damage and have a very small impact on the battle. So just kind of be aware of that, right? Always try and be learning how effective you are in a match and kind of figure out what you did wrong. So what did I do wrong in this match? Really the only mistakes I really made was losing the amount of engineers that I did. Other than that, I feel like I did pretty well. Not perfect, of course. Infantry at the beginning is always a struggle, especially on this match. But still, I don't know how he's managing to call these guys in. But look at this, look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What else did he do? What else did he contribute to the match? Congratulations, you're shelling the entire map. You're having these guys in retreats, but you're not being effective enough. Yeah, it's interesting. You can kind of see this is a live battle of how you need to play. You can't just commit to artillery and let that be what works. Enough about artillery. Let's talk about my strategy right here. Usually what I like to have is 2 Matildas and 1 archer, but because we're winning so significantly, we are able to kind of commit to 3 Matildas and 2 archers. Now, of course, this match is over. This match has been over for about 5 minutes now. But you can kind of see what the strategy is. You've got your heavy tanks, your tanks, your built heavy your lots of health tanks. It's hard to describe tanks without using the word tanks, because in video games we use the word tank as like a high health unit. But you know what I mean. And then behind them you've got your long range glass cannon, heavy damage dealing archers that are really, really effective. So that's the strategy. You've got your tanks, your high health, tough units with smoke abilities, and then behind them you've got your archer tanks for the range and that high damage dealing. So that's the goal of this strategy, is to get to this point right here. That's a lot of artillery. Holy crap. How much dude, holy crap, dude. What the heck? Jeez. I'm not even worried about losing my stuff, obviously, at this point. But, dude, I thought we were going to punch through and start destroying a lot of their buildings. They've got so much artillery. But hey, whatever. It's a fun match. Of course, later on in the match, you get this vehicle over repair, which is just such a great ability to be able to over heal your units. Giving them 120 extra health is so effective. You've got your defensive tactics for 17 pounders, which are really, really good. You obviously could go for the hold the line ability, which is rare that you use it, but when it's effective, it's really effective. But yeah, let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Do you like to use artillery? I love artillery. It's fun. It's very, very fun. But the effectiveness is it damage dealing versus having an impact on the battle? So just keep that in mind. But yeah, hope you all enjoyed and stay tuned for the next one.